Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2019, our first show of 2019 with an exciting year ahead of us. We've got patch 4.5. We've got Eureka. Okay, maybe not all that great. Anyway, we should just focus on the good things anyway. So today, let's just get started. I'm one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Povromo, of course, joining me for his first show of 2019. I know, welcome back from last year. It's good to have you back. Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing?
Was thinking that we could get through a show without a New Year joke.
No, it's too easy. If I don't do it, everyone else does it.
Yeah.
It's like, we kind of don't have a choice. You know?
We kind of do. We can be better.
No, we can't, though. We really can't be better.
We are better than that, though. But Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2019. Listen,
you were either getting... welcome back from last year or Mr. Happy New Year. I went with the lesser of the two.
I would have preferred Mr. Happy New Year. That's reasonable.
All right. If you say it's great, take everything back. We'll start over, and I'll lead with that instead.
All right. Okay.
Excellent. Well, luckily, right at the start of the new year, we didn't do a show for the week of Christmas, and earlier this week was the new year itself. So we waited until Friday to do the show. But luckily, it's the Friday before the patch. So you know what that means, Slyh?
Yeah.
Yeah, preliminary patch notes, right?
Woo!
So,
where?
I couldn't.
I'm googling it. I'm on the site.
I think the site's
broken. On the Redstone, and the Redstone must not have updated.
Yeah, I don't think they update. Yeah, no. So apparently we missed something during the live letter, which we covered in our previous show a couple weeks ago. We were using unofficial notes. You know, they weren't finished. Wasn't officially posted anywhere, but our friends over at Gamer Escape had posted a little tweet, was retweeted 3 times, liked 6 times. Didn't circulate too much until last couple of days. During the live letter, they had apparently stated that there would be no preliminary patch notes because of its proximity to the holiday season and people being off, so thus not being able to finish them in time.
How did 6% of people miss this?
We are in that 99.6. You understand that, Slyh?
Yeah, I'm just saying, but how did we miss this?
Because we all looked at the unofficial Reddit one, which you can't expect them to do everything. They're doing amazing work. They're doing free unofficial translations. Doing live translations is actually incredibly difficult. And we're incredibly grateful for all the people who ship in, whether it be Reddit or not, for unofficial translations. Well, our mistake was only looking at one source.
Yeah.
When we could have looked at another source. So thank you, Gamer Escape, for your work as well.
Thank you.
Japan takes New Year's real seriously. So I'm not really that surprised. I don't even think they've gone back to work yet. They're not even in the office yet.
Yeah, let them have the rest, patch next week, get through the first week and then, patch and all the complaints and all that and content.
We will get our patch notes on Monday. The official ones, the completed ones, I guess I should say.
Yay.
So with that, I mean, we can make our own patch notes, Slyh. So we've got 10 quests for the main story, 2 for 4 lords. You've got the dungeon unlock, the minimum item level for everything. It's going to be 365 for the 24 man, based on what we know from the previous ones. Monks getting positional buffs. White Mage and Machinist are getting something else. Group Pose is getting some new stuff. They're going to nerf Pagos. I feel like I'm missing something. 24.
These are the most scuffed patch notes.
This is exactly what it's going to say. And you know it. Oh, they're going to uncap normal mode Alphascape. But Savage will still be capped. They're going to... Okay. What else are they going to uncap? They'll mention Blue Mage, but also mention it's not happening until a week later.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting favorite mount roulette, favorite minion roulette. They won't mention Hildebrand because he's not till the 0.5 patch. The Crystalloid is also going to be uncapped, yeah. They're going to give us Tsukiyomi mount for 99 totems. Like, yeah, the farmable Tsukiyomi.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned 4 Lords, 24-man, dungeon, main story. Gold Saucer, Mahjong will be in there. Air Force 1 will be in there. Craftable Sophia weapons should probably be in there. Look at this. See, we don't need them. We got this shit.
And then the day of, we'll actually have patch notes instead. Don't refer to our patch notes. Refer to the actual.
I promise you everything I just said happens. Verbatim.
Okay. All right. There's usually, I don't know, coordinates to start a quest and then all that jazz.
I mean, yeah, there'll be more stuff, but what I said will still be there verbatim. They'll just add more. They're going to make sure to watch this and then just literally add some text and some pictures. And we're good. We've done it. That's it.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everybody. We did your patch notes. At least a portion of them. I'm sure there'll be other stuff, but for the most part, you're taken care of. Okay? All the new Gold Saucer stuff. And then there'll actually be the crafting recipes and stuff.
And stuff.
Adding Proto Ultima to the last 24-man? Yeah, sure. Why not? That won't be in. That won't be in there. Okay, so luckily we have no shortage of other things to talk about. We would have skipped over all these other things if it wasn't for this sort of conundrum. But I think we welcomed everyone into the new year. I think it's worth mentioning that so did Yoshida. He posted his New Year's greeting, which is the last post that when I went looking for the patch notes and they weren't there. That was the only thing that was there instead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of it's stuff we've seen, every year. There's always kind of like a thing to it. We did this year, we did that this year. The next patch is this day, and it's been 8 years, including the original Final Fantasy XIV. There's a cool looking art, and then we get that little quote. And that's what everybody looks at.
Yep.
Would you like to read the quote for us, Sly? So we can just look at that real quick. It shouldn't take us more than a couple minutes to talk about that.
More than a couple of minutes. Destinies ordained are not man's to change, but history's chain may he yet disclaim. As Scion joins with stock of withered bark, so we, defying doom, embrace the dark.
So for me, that's as straightforward as it gets. Just an allusion to becoming the warrior of darkness. There is, of course, some other people who have gone through different means of interpreting this, leading to the various theories of time travel and the Scions being, trapped away in this called state. And then there's a new thing that's circulating.
Oh, new thing?
The moon. Now, I am pretty sure the moon has not changed at all, and people are just noticing something now that has always been the way it's been. Now, that's not to say it's not important, but the moon, basically, when people look at it at certain times of the day, it appears to be almost like it looks like a donut, almost like there's like a hole of darkness in the center. And we already know Zodiark and the moon are tied. This has been established a long time ago. It just seems like Eorzea was never meant to have moons, because all of them fucking suck. So, it's only in Mordona, and I swear the moon has looked like that the whole time. I randomly look up at the moon and shit. Now, again, that's not to say that hasn't always been alluding to Zodiark.
When's the last time before this conversation, before we...
I go to Mordona a lot, man. I go there every time I'm trying to spawn a Grip of the Mighty. I always go there, and when I'm waiting for a grip, I always pan the camera around. To be fair, the people are only getting that effect at a certain time of day. But, I just don't think it's any different. Like, people are assuming this embracing the dark is referring to almost like Zodiark's ultimate attack is called a final eclipse. So the moon, it's a fitting thing. But we already know he's affiliated with the moon. That's not news. It's just a matter of, is the moon alluding to the coming struggle that we're about to have in Shadowbringers? And you know what? I won't say it's not, because literally at any point it could have been, because ever since the end of 3.0, we've known Zodiark and the moon are closely tied. That's where Elidibus speaks with the Warrior of Darkness, of all things, for the first time. That's the first time we're introduced to the idea of the Warrior of Darkness, is them standing on the moon.
So, no connection to Lunar Whale. I'm trying to think of any other moon reference.
Final Fantasy VIII is the other one that people would consider. The Lunar Cry.
Like, I'm trying to think of every, like, possible stretch that people can make, because I feel like we're going a little bit too far at this point.
Again, the moon's already looked. I just want to clarify that this post has got a lot of traction, and it's got a lot of traction because everyone's like, I can't say if the moon's ever looked like that or not. It has. The moon, that's not a new appearance for the moon in Mordona. Mordona's always had funky weather that's adjusted the way things look in the sky.
Now I actually have to look up and go to Mordona and look up, because I never really notice it. Like, I pan around, I'm looking at other shit anyway, and I'm already preoccupied, but I never noticed that.
I would love for that to be alluding to something, and I'd love to have that kind of leading towards a calamity, but I don't think there's anything going on here. If I'm wrong, cool, whatever. But the moon has looked like that for a long time, so I just don't think it's a new thing. That's it, just not a new thing at all. It's literally just like a mix of the weather effects, time of day, all that stuff. The moon's always looked kind of funky in there. But I thought it was worth mentioning, because we don't have patch notes to talk about, so why the fuck not anyway? I'm just holding I'm holding a crowbar, a small crowbar the whole time. And, just trying to crack open these cases.
Welcome to 2019, everybody. Starting out strong. Let's fucking go, boys.
I'm tired, man. I gotta do something to keep me awake. It's been a long day, Sly. Goddamn cat, man. Won't let me sleep. That's it. Alright, so that's his New Year message. Unless there's something else you can draw from that.
I'd rather not.
What, you're afraid of being wrong, or like digging too deep?
Digging too deep, mainly. I believe all of us, well, the majority of us are wrong. I believe most of us are digging a little too deep. It's not that big of a mystery. I think it's pretty much cut and dry, like you say. Stuff like all the stuff we talked about with Ethis, to be determined. I'm trying, like, really before Shadowbringers, I'm not trying to dig too deep. I said what I said what I thought, which is that I think it's a huge, it's going to be kind of like a misunderstanding arc, and it's just going to come together like a Tarantino movie.
But are we talking Gran Torino or Hateful Eight? Because this
Hateful Eight.
Oh, I don't want it to go like that. I hate that movie.
I love Hateful Eight.
Mel and I had to do it in 2 viewing sessions, and we barely made it through. We were so fucking bored.
Oh wow, I loved it.
Not me. It didn't work. Didn't work for me. All right, so thank you, Yoshida, for the New Year's greeting. But that's not all he did on the New Year.
He made a trip.
Yeah, he does this. He does this from time to time throughout various times of the year. New Year being one of them. He travels to a bunch of servers, and people just ask him stuff, and he just answers it. And I had somebody ask me not too long ago. They ask why NA tends to ask shittier questions. They asked me. And I don't think it's all that. But I will say that we will never.
It's not that different. Honestly,
Listen. No, so there's 2 things. One is there are some pretty weird questions that come out of Japan. There's just a lot more questions. And it's just because there's a language barrier. Like, NA has to be very careful about their questions, and sometimes you just want to ask a certain question, you know? gotta get that Peaches in. It's 2019, we're going back to Peaches. And I really wish we could have something like this with Yoshida. It's just it's hard. There's a language barrier there. It's unavoidable. Right. I appreciate the work the PR team and the community team does to get us connected with him in every way that they can. I just can't help but be a little jealous that this is like a possibility over there because there's no language barrier, I suppose.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of questions here. And some of them, you could have told me they came from any region and I would have believed it.
Pretty much.
So,
Peaches is international. It's not just relegated to one region. It's international.
Yeah. Peaches. Peaches are international. That's a quote. Anyway, there's two things that are international: Peaches and Pitbull. That's it. Those are the two things that are international, apparently. There you go. So this is a Q&A from about 4 days ago, compiled by Carrier of Light. They do regular translations over on the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit. Almost all of my mass translations from several venues comes from them. So thank you, Carrier of Light, for doing the good deed.
Thank you.
So he visited Ultima, Shinryu, Aegis, and Tonberry, it looks like. And we got some questions here, Sly. Before we kind of just walk through them, were there any in particular that caught your eye as you skimmed through them all?
Mainly the Peaches ones. But besides those, none that really stuck out to me. It's kind of, to me, it was just generally what we've seen before. As far as going forward or anything okay. The one for me, and
I hope it's the one I think it is. Please say it.
I could have saved them the trouble.
Okay. So here's so before you tell me which one it is, I'm gonna ask you two questions. One, is it bolded?
Okay. Yes.
And two, could I have thought you asked this question?
Yes and no.
Okay, no, because you already know the answer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Which question is that, Slyh? It is exactly the question that I thought it was.
Can we have a tackle box?
Yep, that's the one. That's also difficult to add.
I could have saved you the trouble on that one. Don't ever ask him that question again. No, it's never happening. It's never coming. Next question.
You know what question's not here that shocked me?
What?
Eggy glamour.
We've given up on that too. The fact that it's not even here, in which I kind of thought about it, but kind of just put it to the back of my mind. The fact that it's not here means we kind of I pushed that so far behind, and everybody else has too. It's not happening anytime soon. So next question.
Well, someone in the chat saying there is one, but it's not in this thread, or at the very least, it's not titled Eggy Glamour, because I literally searched for the word Eggy and nothing comes up. So just a quick class limitations on glamour gear, great glamour hairstyles, glamour plates, glamour wardrobes, and then the related subreddits r/FFXIV glamours. So it might be coming from a different source. But it might be... Gamerscape did post a coverage of this, so it might be in that one, too. Hey, the last time we didn't look... You know what? Last time we didn't look at Gamerscape, we thought we were getting fucking patch notes today. I'm fucking going there right now. They were looking out. All right, let's see. Eggy. I'm just going to look for the word Eggy real quick. Let's see. Do you have snowboard courses to recommend for beginners? They're not talking about in-game. When will we see an update to Eggy Glamour? We are working on it, so please wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
That's something,
Thank
man.
You, Gamerscape.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. That works. Yeah, I should really know better by now. Now I'm going to have to cross-check some of this stuff, because now I wonder if there's things that I really got to, pay close attention to. the appearance of the blue mage weapon. The S, there'll be different weapons with different appearances. Yeah, I think that's in the original one too. But man, there are a lot of interesting. Again, you could have told me this came from any region. I would have believed it. Like, can you make Samurai's DPS a little higher so it's closer to Black Mage? Can we have Estinian's hairstyle? Can you make it easier to get the Shiver emote? I will say I don't think NA would have asked much about Mahjong, whereas they were asking a lot of Mahjong questions.
It's on topic. So, personally speaking, I am a little bit interested in Mahjong. I'm interested how they are going to implement it and how they're going to teach. Because in comparison, to draw comparison to my experience, Yakuza, they kind of throw you in, like they include it in the story, like, hey, or in one of the sub stories, hey, you got to play Mahjong. And here's 12 boxes of text. Good luck, have fun. You know what I did? I got the Peerless Tile, which basically gives you the best hand in the game, like automatically, and you just win the entire game automatically. Set that down, sumo. You win.
There you go. And then if you don't win, you chase the guy down and kill him to get the money that you bet.
No, that hasn't happened yet. No.
Well, that's because you just won. So and then if you lose, then go chase that guy down and stab him for your money back.
I need to see your idea of Yakuza. God. It doesn't even play out like that, but yeah.
I know it doesn't play out exactly like that. You don't stab him. You punch him.
There you go.
There you go. You punch him.
I am kind of interested in how they are going to teach us Mahjong.
I mean, they showed us at the live letter there was a bunch of like tutorial text, like all sorts of rules that are listed and stuff like that. I thought it was funny how many people are asking about it during all of this. And he's just like, listen, I get you guys really want to talk about Mahjong, but like, I don't know how it's going to do overseas yet. Like, I can't just promise anything with Mahjong and then, only we use it and it's worthless for everyone else kind of thing.
Right.
So I was considering it's a feature that was added strictly with people's off time. Like, people did it on their own time and not on company time. I think a lot of people are jumping the gun a little bit. Like, yo, you're going to do this for Mahjong? Can you do 3 players instead of 4, which is called Sanma?
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of other questions like, I kind of can't talk about it too much, It's just the way that it is. Who knows? Maybe with Yakuza, maybe enough people are interested in Mahjong that it just goes smoothly. I don't know. There's all sorts of possibilities. And then we have the usual. Can we place Mahjong tables in our house? When are we getting new housing plots?
Wait. You skipped over some peaches.
I don't need to ask about his hair wax. I don't need to ask about his hair wax.
Yeah. I like that, peaches. I like that. Yeah.
Which wax do you use? Gatsby. No, the absolute best peaches question is an automatically unpeaches because it made me smile. When will my in-game partner be implemented? Yoshida replies, your partner is inside your heart. Listen, if he wanted to go full meme, he could have been like, your hand is your partner, but no, he knew to keep it diplomatic on that one.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't think I want to reply with that. That's not gonna go over well. But it's your partner's in your heart. Kingdom Hearts? January 29th, 28th, 29th? Last Tuesday of the month, whatever.
Crossover confirmed?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. We also found out we're getting Ro and Lalafell mannequins. 4.1.
Hey, it matters.
Yeah. It's content. There. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that in the patch notes earlier. There you go. See, add that to the patch notes. Ro and Lalafell mannequins for your houses. You know what you do? Here's what you do. You get, what's the limit on apartments? 50 things, I think. You get 50 of those, and you just put them all in your apartment. And then every time you go in there, it looks like you're really popular. Or
it looks really creepy, like something from Clock Tower. No.
Or that. Let's see. New character creation options. Can I live in your house? No, my house is too small.
Doubt it.
I think he means his not his real house. I don't know. There's no context.
There's no context, but I'm just going to say doubt it.
I also like how he has to keep answering questions like with my private character. So I love the idea that Yoshida raids with people and they have no idea that it's him. So now they're all like, wait, who all cleared O12 Savage in the second week on this server? Which one of them's Yoshida? We must find out which one is Yoshida.
I need to know how he raids, because if he is raiding strictly through just typing instead of like being in a VoIP or something, I know some people who do raid like that, but wouldn't he use a VoIP? Wouldn't you think that Yoshi P uses something akin
I mean,
to
if he doesn't keep, I doubt he keeps his personal stuff anywhere near business stuff. I doubt he needs to worry too much about security. I just don't think he wants people to hear his voice and then go, wait a minute. You know what happened the first time I joined like a voice program, like when 14 first came out? I was talking for 10 minutes and all of a sudden someone goes, wait a minute. I know that voice. I just imagine that happening to Yoshida. Be like, I can't say it in Japanese, so I just imagine him talking like, wait a minute. I know that voice. Yoshida?
Sing Byako.
Sing Byaku. Yeah, I don't think they want him doing that during raid hours. Nani?
Nani? Nani?
Yeah, look, see, Yoshida had a Dark Knight in his static. Rebelling against everyone who's like, can't do it with Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Dude, it would not improve morale. He would not be able to go through the fucking Rynoet about, man, when's Eggy Glamour? When's this? When's that? It'd fucking harass the shit out of him.
Yoshida's like, I'm just trying to get my clear.
And then they tell everybody, and then he starts getting tells all the time. He'd have a miserable time.
Get all these friend requests.
What quests? Friend requests. I love friend requests.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've done that too. He's got a voice disguiser. It's like from Homecoming. Hey, give me all the information.
I wouldn't put that past him. I've seen some people stream with voice changers.
He's not streaming though. He's just playing with people.
I mean, I know I'm making the comparison though, so it's possible.
Oh my goodness.
He might need it.
Yeah.
It might be a necessary evil.
They're planning on allowing people to hold more glamour plates. They aren't adding housing plots for a while, and they just want to wait to see how the world visit system goes first, which is weird because world visiting has. I wonder if he's wondering if people will like go to like a server that has open housing, and then just visit to their old world, and that frees up housing on the more popular servers. I don't know what they're hoping for, to wait with the world visiting before kind of assessing about more housing plots.
Yeah.
I
don't think it affects it.
I like this in the chat. It's like, I'm sure he just goes, I know the fight, don't worry. I don't need a voiceover. I don't need voice chat. He's like, yeah, don't worry. Someone figures out the strategy. He's like, good job. He can't tell his fucking raid groups anything. He's gotta probably wait. He probably waits till after like World First and like all the videos are out, and then he just goes. They're like, I know the fight. Don't worry.
He has the RP as someone who doesn't know shit.
Believe it or not, I've seen to enrage already. It's that first. I haven't cleared it, but my first time bonus is definitely worth it. Oh man. Let's see. More friends on the friends list. This one I thought was interesting. When I remove someone from my friends list, I want my name to be removed from their list as well. As someone who gets deleted all the time and has to manually get rid of them one by one, for fuck's sake, I would love that too.
But I kind of understand. I kind of understand his sentiment behind his response. Seeing like having the name of the person who just it creates a little for some people it creates a little bit of drama. Hey, why'd you delete me from your friends list? And like a lot of unnecessary shit. So I say leave it as it is currently.
I would just love it if I didn't have to. Listen, either that or make it easier for me to get rid of people who are deleted. Like, if I have deleted, like, give me an alert that says somebody has, without telling me the name. Just, like, give me a heads up.
Would you really want that alert though?
Well, I'm used to it because it's people transferring servers most of the time. It's irrelevant to me. Like, it just says name deleted or whatever the heck it actually says, and I'm like, okay, I never know who it is. I'm never looking at it. I would just like an easier way to get rid of all the deleteds. That's it. Yeah, remove all these. Make a button that says remove all deleted. You don't even have to give me an alert. Just if I'm not on their friends list anymore, give me like a quick option to remove them from mine. Because doing it one by one sucks because you have to wait for the whole list to load.
List to resort.
Yeah, and then it's got to resort every single time. So I don't even do it. I just leave the deleteds there because I can't be asked to do it. I don't fucking care. And anyone who's on my friends list from Balmung is, see ya. Yeah, enjoy your new data center. Unable to retrieve. That's what it says. Yeah. Remove all unable to retrieve from friends list. What do we have here? Any plans on new options for beards? And they said, we consider it. But other tasks matter more. Everyone sees the stubble in the trailers and everything. They're like, give me that stubble. They want that stubble, yo.
I want a full-fledged beard.
Dude, people want to be lumberjacks, like, big time. Mega lumberjacks. The lumberjack of light. People want to be that. They want that kind of beard. Maybe one day, but other tasks tend to be prioritized.
Like Eggy Glimmer, right?
And tackle boxes. There you go. There you go. I like Yoshi P, but I don't like black mages. What should I do? What does that have to do with anything? He's just like, play whatever you like, LOL. He's like, I don't even know what the hell to say to this. Oh, here's another great one. As a Lalafell, I totally understand. Can you do something about Lalafell's first-person view? It's way higher than it should be. It is. It's literally the same height as everyone else's first person. So you just, like, get taller by going into first person as a Lalafell. I know it's not a problem you've ever dealt with.
Nope.
But it's weird when you're a Lalafell and you're standing in front of a Lalafell and you go first person, you have to look down. You're like, wait. How does that work? Yeah, and other people probably just want to look up skirts. What if the team tells them that? What if the team's like, we didn't do that because we didn't want them looking up skirts? Be like, you could be in a fucking bathing suit anyway. What does it matter?
They're wearing underwear under that anyway.
Yeah,
so.
they're wearing underwear.
Yeah.
It's just the high. I just think it's funny to ask. It's my first person view on my Lalafell's too high. Can you lower it? Now, then there's questions like this, which remind me why we have a Mog station.
Mm-hmm.
Sell the Yotsuyu outfit as a whole set. That's it. Not put it in the game. Not make it available. Sell it. Literally just right to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that could very easily be like an awkward translation between the languages where sell could be like a general term.
I think that's pretty straightforward. No. There's no loss in translation there. I think that's
all I'm saying is, I'm not the one translating. I don't know the quirks between the languages in terms of I'm just saying it could be that way,
Okay.
I'm just saying that's the way it is. Can you lift the limit on the number of players you can show on the screen? If we do that, we'll end up breaking your PCs. What kind of bitch-ass PCs you think we got? Come on.
I mean, Yoshi P must have this god-ass PC.
I'm also thinking, I'm surprised he didn't say that would be unfair to PS4 players or something. Like, he didn't go to the PS4 route, what most people would have expected. He said, I will break your PCs. That's it. He is more worried about the PCs than anything else.
Was there any question about that, really?
Here's one that we got to like. Is Ishtola joining Smash? He said, that's up to
I
Sakurai.
love that one. I love that one. Yeah, just ask Sakurai.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if Sakurai says yeah, it implies that if they asked Yoshida, he'd say yes. He didn't say I don't know. He said that's up to Sakurai. Almost like, here you go. If you want it, do you want it?
I wonder how familiar he is with Sakurai. Like friendly, first name basis. You know, they had to know each other. I would assume. He has to have some in Nintendo. When we were talking about the whole Xbox thing, they were talking with Nintendo at one point, correct?
I think so. I think they said that they were talking to Nintendo at the time.
Yeah. So he has to have some in at Nintendo. And
I mean, I have to imagine that a lot of,
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, someone who doesn't necessarily work at any company in particular, but I know that people, you know, they know each other from the different offices. Like I've seen, if I go to Twitter, sometimes I'll see like a WoW dev playing 14 on the Vita, like on the remote play, and or you know, bringing it on their PC to play on the go, and then I'll see like maybe someone from the community team comment like, I feel like, and remember the World of Warcraft Final Fantasy 14 Twitter thing that happened a while back with Deathwing versus Bahamut and all that stuff. So like I just have a feeling that they probably know each other.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that far-fetched to assume they probably just know each other. So, but I don't know. Y'shtola in Smash? Yes, yay, nay, Sly? I have a feeling you would have a different character who you'd prefer, even though you know it would be Y'shtola.
I pretty much figured it'd be Y'shtola. She's our mascot.
I consider her the Eastern Side's mascot because they care about her way more than we do. She burned Little Sun over there, but I don't know if I'd consider her the mascot. Who's the? I don't know. I almost feel like Alphino is more representative of the Western, like, but kind of against our will though. Like we never really picked him. He just feels like everything's kind of centered around him.
Yeah, we never really picked him. I would pick anybody besides Alphino.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick him, but I almost feel like he's like our main character in a sense. Like literally everything we ever do follows that fucking guy. Tataru.
Wow.
There you go. That's another character who we've been through everything with.
Yeah, I would either say Thancred. Estinian's too, like, he's not a Scion, so I wouldn't say Estinian, even though I would want Estinian. But I'd say Thancred for the North American side.
How about just monks? Just that's it. Just monks all together. Puppet masters somehow. Yo, just add Alphino and Alice as an ice climber's as an ice climber echo. No, it'll be fine, I promise.
Tatara as a spirit, I can see that.
There you go. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, and Tataru can be an Isabel echo. This is dangerous. Anyway.
Very. Now I did love let me go back to it. The very next question. I can't find you. Can you become a row so I can? I wouldn't show up in front of people if I was in the Lawville.
Wow. Way to just say how much he's like, I wouldn't even be here if I wasn't a Lawfell.
Wow. Racist.
That's racist. Anyway. No Lala, no life. This one I thought was weird. Any hints on what the new type of fishing you mentioned will be? I didn't even realize he had mentioned new fishing at any point. And he said fishing on a boat is fun, isn't it? I would just like to say that fucking boat ride in Final Fantasy XI that I almost feel like is being referenced here was a fucking shit show for anyone who wasn't fishing, and even sometimes for people who were.
We can already fish on a boat, though.
Yeah, but I feel like a new boat. We get new boats.
Like, we get actual boats?
I don't know. It just sounds like a boat ride. It sounds like a short... See, what it almost sounds like is like you'll ride a boat and you'll have like a certain amount of minutes to catch a certain number of fish and you get like a score at the end. That's I imagine it being something like that as opposed to like here's a boat to fish on. But I don't know.
I'd be down for it.
Uncle Ulti shows up. I love my boy Ulti. Ever since I've heard him voiced, I can't unhear him voiced. He's as creepy as just.
He's supposed to be creepy.
Yeah, but it's really weird when you hear him with a voice. Like, what he already says is really creepy. When you hear him say it, you're like, I'm uncomfortable right now. I got the chills. Is anyone else cold?
They did the job right then.
Okay. Warnings that if you gamble on Mahjong in public, you will be punished, so don't. I feel like that should go without saying, but like... Oh, damn, that's right. Slyh was you're gonna open up that Mahjong house right next to the script club. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like the scene from Rush Hour 2, where he walks into a Chinese food restaurant. Everyone will go in the front, it'll be one thing, and they're all playing Mahjong in the back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Damn it.
Someone asked if they could allow machinist turrets to be moved instead of summoning a new one. They said maybe do something for its mobility. I always imagine it being like the Magitech bits. You know how the Magitech bits move in certain fights?
Yeah.
I imagine it being like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say they just teleport, but no, they actually move.
You see an animation of them moving at the very least. That's how I always imagined if they ever did move. But I mean, honestly, summoning a new one and moving it, I guess it's a matter of coding it, because like you'd still have to do the exact same thing, but it's just so it doesn't despawn and like lose, I guess, anything that it had in terms of, because I think it matches, I know it matches your food buff, or at least it used to. I don't know if it does anymore. Who gives a shit? It's Machinist. They're gonna fucking change it anyway. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, Machinists, but even you know it's not worth talking about at this point. Someone asked if they could set a new adventurer status for specific jobs. They considered the cost and didn't have plans to implement it. I kind of like that idea, where you could be like a player who's played a shit ton, but you have something to designate you're newer on a job when you go into content. Because a lot of people, I know one of the biggest things I always say is, honestly, if you say you're new or you're practicing or you haven't really played it before, I all of a sudden don't really care how you perform, because you've pretty much set the pretense that you're not really familiar with it and you're kind of using it as a learning process. So just an automatic flag to let people know that. It sounds like a good idea on paper.
I think a lot of people just usually open their mouths anyway and say, hey, I'm new. Even if they like 10% are memeing about that. But I think a lot of people don't have a problem opening their mouth.
I feel like tanks and healers. For DPS, I feel like it's a lot more common. For tanks and healers, I see it, but I feel like people are really afraid to talk and underperform as those two roles. Which is there's a greater amount of pressure on those roles, so it makes sense. So having a means of a visual means of just immediately showcasing to everyone, like, oh, this healer's new, or he's not used to healing. Okay, I'm the tank. They don't need to say anything. I just kind of know, all right, maybe treat this a little different than I normally would. Or a tank that's never played it and puts that on. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of gear, or maybe, he's not used to tank. Like, same thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like a lot of people would also forget to use it, unless it was something that was automatic based on the amount of playtime on said job. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Any tool that kind of increases clarity, I always like the idea of.
And Chad brings up a good point. Tank and healer probably leave if they get too new DPS in a dungeon, which does happen sometimes. But still, like, having that visual cue, I feel would, cause more instances of that.
I'm going to suck at this because I've never tanked before. So maybe if I don't say anything, they'll think I don't speak their language.
This isn't Tonberry. We understand you. Use your words.
I mean, yeah, some people definitely leave when there's that, but I mean, people would leave. Sometimes people just leave if they say they're new. That's the thing. It ultimately is no different. If anyone's willing to communicate they're new in the first place, and someone's like, no, I'm not dealing with that shit, they're just going to leave anyway. It doesn't matter if the symbol was over their head or not.
True.
All I'm going to say is, if you're as long as you're adequately geared for the dungeon, like, if I'm going into Bardham's Metal and you're in fucking I-120 Ironworks gear for whatever reason. Listen, I don't care if you have the symbol over your head, but I know the struggle that I'm about to deal with, and I don't know that I want it. That's just kind of irresponsible of you. There's nothing over it. They're not going to add the normal, inexperienced, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing here option. If they did, I'd love it. I would like a warning for, because leveling dungeons don't have minimum item levels, but I wish they'd still look at what your average is and go kind of like, hey, you, what do you got going on here right now?
Because people do some challenge shit with lower item level, and that's not really a big issue. I understand where you're coming from, but you know, I've done tons of stupid shit on lower item level. Like they're never gonna give you that warning. Like I would be annoyed if I got that warning. Like, yes, I know, I know what I signed up for. Thank you, just put me in.
Okay, but there is a breaking point here, and it's only for the leveling dungeons where you can do it. Because obviously, it doesn't matter if you meet the minimum item level for any level 70 content. Who cares? Like, yeah, so maybe the DPS is like 50 item levels above you, and he's pulling aggro. Great. I mean, whatever. It happened, right? It's happening. It's happened. Or whatever the maximum item level is, and then they're at minimum. You know, whatever. It happens. But it's a lot different in leveling dungeons, where the game doesn't give a shit as long as you match the level requirement. And I feel like educating players, hey, your gear could, you know, if you hadn't figured it out by all the loot we were giving you, you might want to fucking do something about that. Because then they pull one mob and it's like, and then they don't use cooldowns the whole time, and it's rough. I feel like the odds of someone using cooldowns as a tank is proportionate to how much they actually cared to increase their item level before going in. If they're like in level 60 gear at the level 69 dungeon, odds are they're also not using defensive cooldowns. So I feel like there's a correlation.
Yeah. Or how the fuck did you get here in 60 gear?
Well, that's what the alert would say.
Yeah. Seriously, how did you get here?
How are you even killing overworld mobs, man? What's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing Beast Tribe quests. Fuck. That's right, that shit scales.
Yeah.
Damn. Let's see. From Aegis server, they said they cut out a bunch of the overlapping questions here. Yeah. People asking about the fear of hunts now that we're gonna have world visiting. I'd like you to reconsider allowing players from other servers to join hunts after the world visit system is implemented, at least with the current system. Yoshida's response was, there might be confusion at the start, but I assume rules will be made on the way. I understand your concerns with people assassinating hunts, but I don't think the current closed-off feeling is healthy for the game. We'll observe how it goes and consider fixing it if it becomes terrible. How do you feel about hunts for world visiting?
We always have that hero of our server who, you know, every server has that guy, that one guy or girl who is just the asshole of hunts, and they will go ahead and get it started by themselves if they're really good, you know, just because they are that asshole. I kind of feel like this is not necessarily a non-issue, because it is an issue on our own servers. I don't think it'll be too big of an issue on like during world visits. It's definitely understandable, but I think it's kind of minute in my opinion.
I think it's going to take so much time to go between servers that odds are a lot of people are just never going to make it to these. Like, I think about this. So here's the thing with hunting. You generally, there are lots of people who leech hunts where they make no effort to go out and like find the A ranks or spawn the S ranks. And those are normally the people who go, what the fuck, pulled early. And they're just slow as shit to get to. I don't know what to say. That means if someone's an active hunter and they're trying to actively hunt across servers, you would have to be out in the world looking for a hunt, see a cross-world link shell hunt call, go back to your home nation. From your home nation, go to the selected server, get to their home nations, and then go to the zone, join the party, and it's like, well, unless they're in a cross-world party already.
I'm trying to think, how many tabs of Areala would you have to have open to make this fucking management?
Too many. Although I'd imagine that hunt websites would actually change the layout. With the way it is right now, it shows like the timer. I'd imagine it would show all the timers on one page. Like for anyone who is doing that, but like yeah, if you make it there and you've done all that, great. But like, I'd say honestly, the bigger concern is communities that know how to spawn S ranks, and then that's not a problem either because your fucking server is going to find... They're not going to bring the whole server over to your server. They're going to go to your server, spawn your server the S rank. Then your server is going to respond first. Like, maybe, like, a Realm Reborn A ranks, and at this point, Heavensward A ranks, like, maybe those will be tougher, but those are already shit to do.
And then again, we would have to rethink the reward structure for hunts, too. If somebody's jumping servers and getting... I mean, do you find that an issue as well if somebody's jumping servers, getting seals and whatnot, and then, jump to another server? Oh, it's back up. More seals. You don't find that to be a big issue as well?
No, because the seals are just not... Like, they're not such a big deal, seals. Like, the hunts that are already dying so fast they practically don't get reported are probably going to keep dying so fast they don't get reported.
Okay.
Any server that actually has people who are dedicated to spawning S ranks probably already well under control of the situations they need to meet in order to actually spawn them. I know on Gilgamesh, I am a member of a link shell. I have helped spawn, but I definitely don't do the majority of the legwork. But they always just go to spawn an S rank, let everyone in the link shell know. When everyone in the link shell is there, they call to everyone else. They do all the heavy lifting. They make sure everyone in the link shell gets credit, especially the people who are active hunters. And then they tell everyone else. And that's fine. They come over. Because they're going through the effort. Like, that's the thing. If you're going through the effort to spawn an S rank, you already earn it. You've already earned it. Because those things can be obnoxious as hell to spawn.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, if you're someone who goes through all those loops and you still make it to a hunt on time, I can't say, like, you don't deserve to be there to get it. Like, you're gonna be a late responder compared to the people on the server who are actively hunting. So if you actually make it on time, who gives a shit? You're just another person who's there. I don't know. I just don't think it's an issue. I don't think having hunts available on multiple servers is worse for anything except the really old ones. The really old hunts. Every expansion gets more and more problematic. But we're getting allied seals with Blue Mage anyway. So who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just... If you spawn something... There is no early... I agree with that. I don't believe in something called early pulling. If you spawned it, you decide... No, listen. If you spawn something... If you went through the effort...
I believe in late arrivals. I
don't believe in early pulling. I believe in late arrivals. I do think that doing a courtesy of, like, waiting a couple minutes for people is a nice thing to do. But if they didn't do shit and they're just showing up because a link shell said, hey, by the way, this is up... You don't deserve shit, okay? You could not complain the shit was pulled too quick if you weren't out making any sort of fucking effort. All right? Now, if the late arrivals pull when they get there, they're assholes. But, that's just what it is. Yeah. An early pull is an early pull to someone every time. If I'm late to a hunt, you know what I do? I go, oh, damn, I missed it. Not, fuck whoever pulled it. Because if it mattered so much to me, I would have been there. I would have been waiting for it. If it really mattered. If it really mattered to me, I would have gone. I would have done it. That's it. It's an early pull if the entire server is not there. That's it. If everyone's there, it's not early. I don't know. That's just my feeling. Maybe it's controversial. I just don't believe... I don't believe everyone deserves everything. So this question just has no concern to me. Personally. Let's see. Can you make it where climate changes when an S rank spawns? And he's like, I don't want to make it that obvious. People already use ACT to track S ranks anyway. It wouldn't make a goddamn difference. You didn't know about that with ACT?
No.
So when you know how when an ad spawns, you can make ACT for like a fight. Let's say you have an ACT call out an ad spawning for a fight. So you can do that with the hunts, but with B and A ranks, you have to be standing near them, and then ACT will call out the name. So basically let you know it's on your screen. But S ranks render zone wide.
Gotcha.
So when an S rank appears, it renders, and then the whole zone can technically see it. So ACT picks up on it immediately. Now, I don't use it, but everyone I know who hunts does. So anytime they do something, they go, it's up, I gotta find it. And the same applies for the Mega Fates. Like,
Carl Regina,
Odin, Odin, you don't need it. You can at least tell what zone he's in if you use the Odin one. You can do that in Eureka also. Eureka, you don't need it because again, Eureka marks them on the map, but Eureka they render zone wide. So it's just like people already do that. So adding the weather effects doesn't really change. You can't say, well, people use ACT, so no, we don't need to. But just surprise people saying for that. I don't know. There's a lot of things. And then this guy's like, and by the way, this is all the same person who's asking this apparently. Because then he goes on to say, I'm concerned because third-party websites might become useless with the world visit system. Can you at least consider an official announcement when a hunt dies? So that way it could be marked down on the third-party website reliably. Like this, like in chat, zone-wide.
Aren't third-party websites kind of like a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing anyway?
I think that's why he goes, I can't continue to talk about this. Please send your request to the official forums. To be fair, this isn't a third-party program. It's a website that players input data. Yeah, it's like Eureka. It's not automatically detecting that something died. Players are inputting that info, and it's just reporting back. But a lot of players don't bother with that shit. So, This is what it is. I got a favorite question right here. There's not that many ninjas anymore. Do something about it.
Is this like the Dark Knight question up above earlier?
It's it's not really, it's literally just like, people don't like to play ninja anymore, there's less of them. Please do something about it. He's like, please wait until 5.0.
That's the same answer for the Dark Knight one.
What else do people expect him to say? He's not going to say anything about job changes prior to, probably April or May or something, when we usually find out about them.
Yep.
Somebody asked if the Japanese servers are going to be shuffled like NA and EU, and they're like, no plans. They already have 3 data centers. They don't need to be shuffled.
Yeah, they're fine.
The server he was on earlier, Shinryu, they're closed, but that's about it. Other than that, it seems fine. Could you ever add more jobs that can apply piercing resistance down? We will be adjusting resistance down, but please wait for the future expansion announcements. I really think they're getting rid of them, or they're going to become personal buffs. One of the two.
I don't think they'll completely get rid of them.
Well, no. So they're never going to completely get rid of them. I agree with that.
You saying they get rid of them? You're saying.
I'm saying your disembowel will no longer buff Bard's damage. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think they'll do that.
I think they will.
No.
It's been like of all the changes they've done over the expansions, that's been the one thing that drives people to a meta more than anything else.
Oh yeah, believe me. I know.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see it become a piercing buff on the player versus a piercing debuff. And then they can give Bard a piercing buff for fucking once. But I think that shit's gone. I think they'll still use it in fights, like if a boss has a spear, they give you piercing resistance up, but I think your disembowels.
That doesn't take away from the meta though.
It does, because literally Bards refuse to play without Dragoons. That's 2 slots already taken up.
Exactly. But I'm saying, you put it on one job itself and you still incorporate this whole meta.
But I'm saying that if you can provide your own buff, not a debuff on the enemy. Literally, your buffs. It's on your buff bar, and it's not applied to the enemy at all.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to see, I don't know, Refulgent Arrow or something give piercing. Bad example, but you know what I mean. To give you piercing damage up.
The one way I could see this working is maybe a roll action. And they did say they are thinking of redoing roll action.
That actually makes a lot of sense to make roll actions do the resistance down. That does. I actually think that they could pull that off too. We know they're going to be hardcore changing roll actions, but No, that's pretty reasonable to allow all the melee to access the different resistance downs. Although, well, yeah, because most of the time you take a melee and a range. I mean, bards would still be upset they can't provide it themselves, but no, that's a good alternative. I mean, I think it has its own issues, but outside of removing it, if they were going to keep it, that sounds like the most likely thing. And then it would really be a matter of taking which one matters to your comp. And I don't think they'll do all resistance down. I don't think they'll generalize it to like you just reduce everything. Every job that has a resistance down reduces everything. I don't think they'll do that.
Right.
I think it looks hilarious on the bar because everyone's going to be overwriting it over and over again.
I think each individual role will have certain resistance downs. I don't think every DPS will have every resistance down.
I think all the tanks would have slashing, all the DPS would have piercing, and who gives a fuck about blunt? Just get rid of it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take it on. Maybe Bard can take it, and then I can have secret synergy. I don't think they give a shit. I just want to know what Dragon Kick will do in the expansion, if we'll even still have a Dragon Kick. They just turn Dragon Kick into Tornado Kick, and every time you do it, you just lose all your stacks. There you go. No, I think that's a good alternative, though, is roll actions. Tanks with slashing, DPS with piercing and blunt, or something like that. It's a good call. I actually hadn't thought of that, Slyh. Yo, can I get some Slyh Jesuses? That's his prediction, not mine. We need that Slyh Jesus moment later down the line.
If it happens.
I think you just named what I think my mind has changed. If they're not getting rid of it, I totally believe they would do that. I guess it depends. We need to know what they're changing roll action wise, because they said they're overhauling it. But that means it won't work the same as it does now. So it's a big question of how it'll even work. But assuming they don't just get rid of roll actions. There you go. I like it. There you go. And Aslan also, it needs to have a really short cooldown. That shit cannot be something that only lasts like 10, 15 seconds. I mean, it can, but it can, but it needs to be like something you can refresh.
True.
We'll see. We'll see what they do. There's a lot of options there, but I think most people are expecting them to remove it. Marry me. I appreciate your proposal, but let's start from being friends. Damn! Fucking denied!
Wow. Friend zoned by Yoshi P.
Yeah, when Yoshi P just flat out friend zones you in front of everybody. Get fucked.
Damn, son.
Let's see. Can you invite people directly from the Crossworld link shell chat? Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't right-click invite someone to your party from a Crossworld link shell. That's stupid. I never even realized that because I have one, but no one
he
fucking
even agrees that it's tedious.
He's like, yeah, you're right, it does suck. You're like, yeah, it does. Good call. Yeah, he said that so the chat's bringing up, he did say that he wants to eventually do 8 Crossworld link shells and completely replace the link shell system with only Crossworld link shells.
Mm-hmm.
Although you could choose to still just invite people from your server, but he wants all link shells to have Crossworld capabilities as opposed to having to choose between link shells and Crossworld link shells. So yeah, just to bring that up from the chat, that is a thing. Can you make it visually clearer when we hit the right positionals? I mean, I think your damage being shit and not being shit is a good visual indication. But I get what they mean. Like, let me just say this. I'll give you a hint. If it doesn't have vulnerability up, you miss the trick attack. Just for starters, at the very least. It used to be if you didn't have heavy thrust, you missed the positional.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be cool to have a different visual for it. No, don't make a little ping sound. If I play Monk, I'm gonna literally turn sound off forever.
Turn that off. Yeah,
I'm turning that shit off forever. Ding, ding, ding. Every 2.5 seconds, I'm gonna be in a fucking straitjacket, like ding, ding, just in a fucking nut house over there. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. All right, there is a visual indicator when you're on the right position. They gotta find that sweet spot. Imagine if positionals had sweet spots where, like, if you were dead center on the flank, you got more bonus. Dude, I would fucking hate that. You know how fucking annoying Midgard Stormer would be? Yeah. I can already see Slyh using fucking elusive jump to get directly to the flank. You gotta use your fucking...
I'll try it too.
That would be so fucking bad.
God.
Oh my god. Ah, man. What else is there here? Place more mannequins.
Now that we have Mahjong, can we have a CS Garo double cross pachinko simulator in the Gold Saucer? No. Copyright.
Does it say that someplace? Yeah, you're right. It does say that. I missed that.
Yeah.
That is a very specific request.
I mean, I understand it. We have Garo in game and everything, but yeah, copyright.
No. Copyright.
No.
I actually missed that question somehow. I guess I saw random ass letters, CS Garo XX. I'm like, whatever. I don't need to know what else the rest of the sentence says.
Yeah, we don't need to take it too far as far as the Gold Saucer.
Well, the good news is we did get some news regarding some really important stuff they're working on, like the ability to eat while you're sitting.
That's nice. Nice quality of life.
We're on that task now, he says. That is a hell of a task. Yeah, I don't want pachinko. I wouldn't want pachinko. He said he wants to add more like real card games like poker, like, you know, more traditional stuff. I guess that's like, less culturally dependent on where you are. Like Mahjong is definitely
some
bigger
blackjack,
than
some poker.
Yeah, he's mentioned a few of those before, like adding those to the Gold Saucer now that they have Mahjong, or based on the success of Mahjong or something like that. Yeah. I would only like pachinko if I could drop Moogles, and if all the pachinko things had spikes. And no matter where they landed at the bottom, there was also
You're
spikes.
Really specific about this one.
I've thought about it. You can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get back from Vegas, and I totally imagined a Moogle falling down a pachinko machine while we were there. All right. I was sorry. I wasn't winning anything. I had to do something with my fucking time. One more for the bonus.
2 more for the bonus.
Motherfucker. Anyway. Let's see. I'm glad Dark Knight will be the main character for the next expansion. What was it like when you gave the orders? Excuse me. I don't know why that's funny to me. You gave the orders. The order I gave them before creating the trailer was make him look physically worn out, but with a strong will inside him. That sounds nothing like Dark Knight.
No. It sounds completely opposite of every Dark Knight right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Will it be difficult to add a snowboard mount? We currently don't have any plans for a snowboard mount, but I want to snowboard one day. I would like to point out when Yoshi P wants, Yoshi P gets. Slyh, I think we've had this discussion before, but did you know before Realm Reborn launched, about a month before, he did an interview with, I want to say it was MMORPG.com? Might have been them. Mm-hmm. And they asked him what his personal favorite job would be to add to 14. And he gave them 2 answers. He said, from traditional Final Fantasy, I want Red Mage. From Tactics, I want Machinist.
And they happened.
This was a month before A Realm Reborn came out. He had already said, I want Machinist. What did the next expansion have?
7.0, yeah.
Funny because he just plays Black Mage. He plays neither of those things, but he's just...
Right.
He's loyal to Black Mage through and through. I like this. Physically worn out from pressing Dark Arts too much. That's good. That's good. He did say he personally wants Calculator also. That was more recent though.
I've been saying this for God knows how long, and 30%, like 30 to 40% of me has been memeing about that, but
it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. I would have said the same thing about Machinist too, but I'm going to say it again so I can look dumb if it happens. It ain't happening.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Can you allow us to use emotes while walking? There's some emotes that would look terrible. Imagine you were fucking doing the Manderville while walking. You'd literally be like...
It would look like the Dark Souls video.
Yeah.
Exactly like the Dark Souls video.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That shit would look ridiculous. Yeah. That wouldn't even look good. Why would you want to look like that, dude? Your character's gonna look air quotes while walking, dude. That'd be hilarious. You hear someone say something, you're like. Oh man!
Like some emotes would work for it. Others, like I guess it's a case to case basis on how that would work. But they said it. They just outright said it's just difficult.
Yeah, you'd walk like Wario in Smash Bros. That's what you would look like. And no one wants to look like Wario. Wario. Especially don't want to look like Waluigi, even after the Isabelle glitch. Oh man. Let's see. Any plans on adding a drum set? The current one is awkward and hard to use. It'd be difficult. Please add a planetarium. You know, we do have an aquarium. I'm actually surprised they never did a plan. I wonder if they're afraid of it, like, of saying that this is the way the, I guess, galaxy looks around Heidelin.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's like a fear, or if people don't give a shit. They just want fucking Saturn and shit.
Kurthus? Isn't there a planetarium in Kurthus?
Yeah, there's the Astrolalicum, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's the thing with the really stupid fucking long name.
Yeah, that.
Someone in the chat's gonna remember it. It's literally like, I just don't care enough to remember. The Observatorium, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what they use to watch the Dragon Star, to see if, to pay attention to see if the hordes are on the move and stuff like that. So there you go. What else do we have? And then there's a few other things. Will the Ultimate series continue in the future? Obviously, it won't be released at the same time as the expansion, but it will continue. Come on, we knew they were going to keep doing it. They just said they weren't going to do it in 4.5. Question about some hairstyle. Yoshi P used to make gameplay videos. When Yoshi P visited Blizzard, everyone on the WoW team was watching the Ultima Weapon stream. Which one? I want to know which one. And then it says right at the bottom, by the way, they won't be releasing preliminary patch notes because the whole team is taking a break. Says it right there at the end. There you go. We should have read that.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, we still had this show planned for today. It wouldn't have changed much anyway. But we would have maybe paid more attention? You know? At all? Would have been nice. Overall, we had some good laughs. There's some good times here. Some fun questions for everyone, for Yoshi P. You alright over there, Slyh?
No, I'm looking at chat. Read what name? I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, First Dicasterial Observatorium of Ethereal and Astrological Phenomena. That's the name of the thing.
Oh, that name. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, they said it, and I ignored it. I just, like, my brain immediately looked at chat and said, ignoring everything that's coming out of whoever says that's mad. Like, literally could not get, without someone demanding my attention for it, I couldn't be asked to read that.
No.
My brain just automatically said, not fucking bothering with that. And that's the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty good questions. A little bit of Peaches.
I mean, to be fair, though, this is, like, again, one of those places where, like, Peaches is, like, acceptable, because he's just on a server. You're just asking random shit. He can't answer.
It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable in NA.
In NA, he can't even do this. No one asked about that stupid of a fucking thing here. There are some people who demanded a lot of attention for singular problems, but none of them were terrible. They were just like, if this was any other means of asking him, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just not a whole lot of Peaches here. A little bit of Peaches, and the few Peaches that there are, not too bad, you know. Acceptable Peaches, acceptable levels of Peaches. But overall, it was pretty good. There is, of course, a few other things that happened. We could talk about Heavenstern and pounding more mochi, as we do. We could talk about...
I still haven't done Heavenstern.
I mean, it just started a few days ago. It started when
Yeah, somebody told me that it's really quick.
Yeah, I mean it's as quick as it ever was. Heavenstern's always just the mochi pounding. They I think they get a real kick out of the mochi pounding joke. Like way too much of a kick out of the mochi pounding joke. Because it's just every year. The only year where it was overly exceptional was when we were pounding mochi in the year of the cock. I keep asking everybody, do you want to pet my cock? And they keep giving me these weird looks. Dude, Koji had to have had a great time.
He had an amazing time with that one. That was one of the best years for Heavenstern.
It's literally, Heavenstern was no different that year, minus just cocks everywhere.
Cocks, yeah.
Just constant cocks. You couldn't escape the cocks. That's it. Do you want to pet my cock? I don't know why no one wants to do it. They give me these weird looks like I'm doing something wrong. Chocobos are lovely. And where I'm from, we call them cocks. How often do you get to write that joke for an MMO? How often do you get to just write that joke?
Not too often, only during the year of the cock.
I like that flaming cock. Isn't that a Mega Man X boss? All of a sudden I'm hearing the X4 with Magma Dragoon. Magma Dragoon! I'm hearing flaming cock! That's it. That's all that matters. And then when you're fighting him, he's just doing cock things all over the place. The 4.5 website did update in recent days as well. We do get some pretty creepy images over there and a quick description. Beckoned by the Aura site, you arrive at the Orban Monastery, vestige of an ancient civilization lost beneath the twisted roots and vines of this forbidden jungle. The Durai papers claim this holy sanctuary to be where the tale of young Ramza Baluv began. Tonight, it is where your tale ends. We get a little picture of the monastery in the jungle. We get a picture... Oh, God, she is... She's not having a good time in picture number 2. That Aura site is... That's causing some problems right there. She better become Ultima. That's all I gotta say.
Then we get 420 no scope.
Dude, the other 3 bosses must be such huge spoilers because he's the only boss they've shown us.
Yeah. And
he's targeting a bunch of people with lasers. I was worried that this was 012 Savage.
Yeah.
But then
it's like
yeah, the side lasers for the tanks. But it looks like it's just targeting everybody with AoEs. It's like, locking onto them in some way. Or it's like locking onto the locations or some shit. But looks cool. I mean, he's a cool looking boss and he's given us some pretty good memes. But I really want to know the other bosses like way more now that they're keeping them a secret. It just looks cool as hell. I don't think there's anything new other than the stuff that was there last time. Like Mahjong is there, Air Force One is there. We already had Gimlet Dark custom deliveries, new mounts, new hairstyles, all that stuff. So it's really just the 24-man and the Gold Saucer stuff that got added to the website. Dude, I don't know about you, but Tuesday is not going to be enough, man.
You think so?
It's not going to be enough because I'm going to have to wait fucking 2 months to get the fucking rest of the patch story. I'm going to wrap up Tuesday and be like, oh, now I got to wait 2 fucking months.
Man, in the meantime, you can go catch them all.
I mean, yeah, there's Kingdom Hearts and Sekiro and a Fan Fest and, Hydados and Absolute Virtue and Blue Mage.
Yeah.
I saw someone say, this reminds me, Rowena revealed as Zodiark. I mean, why else do you think the moon thing that people were seeing is only in Mordona? Just saying. Okay. I feel like there's too much of a correlation there. Oh, I just want it. I just want everything. And we still don't know anything about the collaboration with 15.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a Japan Fan Fest.
No, that's all the way in March, Sly. Come on. Don't do this to me. I don't listen. It's Sly Jesus versus Half Jesus. If it's not at Europe, I'll be disappointed. I'm already disappointed that it hasn't been unveiled yet. If it's all the way in Japan, Slyh, not only do you get a Slyh Jesus, but I'm going to slap you next time I see you because I'm going to blame you for this happening.
Don't blame me.
I'm blaming you.
Devs.
I'm blaming you. It's got to be. It can't be Japan, Slyh.
Blame Tabata.
It's too long away. It's not going to be his fault. He's not the one developing the 14 side of it. He's not even there anymore.
I know.
I'm going to hit him with this crowbar. It's a small crowbar. It won't hurt that much. Come here, Slyh. We already made the Killing Joke meme prior to the show. But I just need to know what hurts more, Slyh.
No, he still hasn't opened the box. No.
Oh, we're going to talk about the box. I'm going to talk about it when I sign off in a little bit. Speaking of which, I don't think there's anything else for us to really cover, so I don't see a reason to stretch the show on any longer than we really need to.
Very true.
That way you can go get a little comfortable.
You know what? I just thought about it too. Aren't we supposed to be doing the new format?
We are. And I actually had notes written down to do it and just totally ignored them. It's habit, man. It's habit.
Hashtag professional. All right.
Don't worry. I literally have notes up that said, hey, don't forget. And I looked at them and then didn't do it. Literally, it's in front of me. And I just went, all right, let's just do the show. I kind of just rolled from the joke into the rest of the show regarding the patch notes. It was too natural. Just gotta break the habit, Slyh. It's 2019. We gotta get started off with one hashtag professionalism at least.
There we go.
All right. So what do you say I start doing not the new format, but what do you say I start going through our old format now?
Yeah. One more time.
We'll get the shot. Yeah. This is just for old time's sake. That's it. We didn't want to leave 2018. Fuck 2018. Never mind. Anyway, so. For anyone who's wondering what we're talking about regarding format, we've been saying for a few weeks now that I wanted to talk about SteelSeries sponsorship at the beginning of the video, so we don't have to do all of the announcements and our sign-offs at the end. So, like, you start with SteelSeries, and you thank the Patreon sponsors halfway through, and then you just do your sign-offs at the end, and it's nice and clean, and everything's spread out, so it's not all at the end. I have notes that say to do that. Didn't do it. So...
Didn't listen.
Next Friday, because the next show will be next Friday, Slyh. Next Friday.
Okay.
I'm just saying, listen, 2 shows ago, man, you literally forgot what we said the day before. Now I got to make sure.
No, it was about the content. It wasn't about the show itself. It was just like the timing of the show. It was just like, I didn't even forget. I just wanted to add more to the show, but no. Fuck me.
Slyh, that is not at all how that message read. This for the show next week with Ethis? Slyh, what are we doing next show?
I wasn't saying specifically just that. I knew we were...
Then why did you say, God damn it, when I said, Slyh, we're doing the show on this, and you went, God damn it. Slyh, just admit that you forgot. Admit it. I want to hear you say it.
No.
God damn it. All right, so let's do our sign-offs, then you can take an early break before your movie night.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. All right, so before we wrap up the show for this week, a couple of reminders. One, next week's show will also be on Friday. We're going to, gotta let the patch stew for a few days. Slyh and I did have a discussion behind the scenes about the shows for the next several weeks. We have pretty much everything planned out until, I guess, late, third week of February-ish, and then we still have, the Heirs of Beyond the Lore book, and we still have, we have a spoiler cast, we have a Blue Mage thing. We've got all sorts of plans regarding the 4.5 and FanFest and Hydata.
And again, we had the plan this way because of January.
Yeah, because we're not doing a show the week of Kingdom Hearts 3. As another reminder, the week of Kingdom Hearts 3, there will not be a show. That Tuesday is Kingdom Hearts 3, and that weekend is FanFest. That Saturday is FanFest. So that week is kind of a dead zone, as it is. So that way we have content for the next several shows, especially because Hydatos is supposed to be out early February.
Yeah.
So, we've got everything planned out. We'll be making sure to give you guys full details on that over the next several weeks. But just know that outside of which guests we're inviting, of course, we have Ethis for any lore-based shows, that we do have everything planned out. And You know who's going to be at the start of all those shows? Our sponsor, Steel Series. I promise they'll be at the start of all those shows once I've adapted to remembering to do the new formula. They sponsor the show. They do free giveaways for us, Sly. Sly, be honest with me. Have you ever entered our Steel Series giveaway?
No, I haven't.
Damn.
Why would I?
I don't know. My fucking mods always enter my giveaways. I was like, maybe my co-host would enter the fucking giveaway on the show.
No.
I was like, I was like, yo, you broke your headset. Why don't you just enter the giveaway? Took that genuine anyway. They've been sponsoring the show. They do giveaways. We do giveaways for them every month. Just check the description of the video on YouTube and enter. Until I start saying it at the beginning of the show, we probably won't have as many entries because I always forget to say it at the beginning. But anyway, they're our sponsor, and thank you to them. We also have all of our Patreon sponsors. We, of course, have our Patrons of Light, and I do have both their images right here. Here we have Khuja Cross from Jenova, and I just realized that the list itself got closed for some reason. I think it might have been in like a hidden tab or something. It takes 2 seconds to pull it up. But yeah, we have Khuja Cross from Jenova. We have Kurenai Oni, who's the second image that I'm going to pull up right here. It's weird because I normally keep 2 of the images like you guys are seeing on the screen. But the first image is a wide shot for Khuja Cross, and the second image for Kurenai is like a full one. So I couldn't do that because it looks like this if I do it. So I had to do it like that, and then I had to do it like this, and then I had to, I guess in the opposite order, get that arranged. Just wanted to share with you a little bit of hashtag professionalism from behind the scenes while I buy time for me to get the actual sponsor list up. So, you know, just doing my job here. Listen, I've gotten good at screwing things up. So I'm pretty quick to remedy it, you know. But thank you to our Patrons of Light for supporting above and beyond as we go into 2019. We also have a shit ton of other patrons. I have not updated this list for the month, and I'm going to be giving this list a good look to make sure there aren't any outstanding names. I know there's one name on here that I think needs to be moved, but I'll fix that, you know, in the coming days. So we have our standard State of the Realm sponsors. We have Nyark Vizsla of the Red. We have Krista Uzuki, Crazy Meter from Midgard, Raijin Ventinus from Cactuar. I swear to God, Sly, if I see your fucking hands move to type of PogChamp, I'm gonna hold your fucking hands up every week, Sly, every week.
Oh
then
my God.
We have Carol.
I'm not even thinking about it now.
We have Carol, Ray. You're like, what? It's a new year, so you're not going to do that? There you go. See, they can do it. It's fine. We have Carol, Ray, Senchi, Shadowlink on Tonberry, Dom, Sukaway from Jenova, Lamilia Nella of Midgard Sarmer, Serren the Fennel family, Janhyua Yotsuyu, Kifca and the Great Eagles on Exodus, Dark Raver, Aoshi from Kujata, Skia Symphonia from Ragnarok, Rylanator Westaus The Purple Warrior, Eadric Redsteele on Exodus, Lexxie Valentine, Mantaru the Rivivus FC from Zodiark. It looked like you were doing it. Sour Cream and Chives from Jenova, Rynoet Chikara, Goetia Valefar Siren, Phoenix Down FC on Goblin, and Serren from Zodiark. We also have our elite State of the Realm sponsors, Zeravier of Coral, Alchemy, Shinka, Casual Heroes FC on Midgard Sarmer, Tatachtak on Hyperion, Kano Uzuki from Jenova, Yu Starla on Coral, Sathal, Sarah Frost from Behemoth, Holy Tabasco, Red Thornosaur, Class 015, Mustang, Serenity FC on Ultros, Kat Kazuma, Ignis Farragon from Excalibur, Valestro Fanfrit, Not Quarters from Excalibur, Crocus Moonscar, Private Mikey, Nani Kiyosami, Rudy Rudiger, Kill Hackman, Raul Jr., and Kiltastic Jones. Thank you to all of our...
Thank you so much for combating hashtag demonetized.
Which has apparently been making a resurgence. My chat was discussing it with me earlier. I haven't noticed anything excessive on my channel. I knew you had done it because I saw you type it. You're like, oh, he's not going to see me if I don't actually press enter. Motherfucker, I watched you do it.
Chat urged me to.
I know they did. Give in, Sly. I saw everything. Motherfucker. He did it. Voheo. But thank you to our Patreon sponsors for combating hashtag demonetized. And with that, Sly, we can finally say our goodbyes for the first show. For our first show of this year. And there we go. I had to fix something. For some reason, the dimensions were off on yours, but I just fixed it real quick. So Sly, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at, good sir?
I'm here.
Wow.
Hi. Thanks, Habs. You can find me at twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox, Twitter at Slythefox, Instagram at Slyakagreyfox07, youtube.com/The Velvet Room. It's fucking January. We listed it before, but for me, patch 4.5. Ace Combat 7. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Resident Evil 2. And Kingdom Hearts. All that this month. It's a crazy fucking month. I even took it upon myself to make a content trailer, highlighting everything we are doing for this month, and I put it on Twitter. So you're more than welcome to check the Twitters and see that, or check my events page or the extension and stream to ever see the schedule. It's a jam-packed schedule. Jesus Christ, we're both going to be busy. Haps, what's on your list for this month, and where can they find you and everything and all that jazz?
Well, apparently on my list for the month is I gotta figure out how the fuck to open this crate that's like half phasing out from the fucking thing. So I got this in the fucking mail today, and it's a wooden crate called a man crate, and the card reads, "I know you told me about the whole no snacking thing, but look, bacon, LOL. Enjoy, sweetie. Happy birthday. Love you lots, Mom." I don't think she understood that the only way into that bacon is to break into a wooden box with a crowbar that they provided, which is why I've been holding it the whole fucking show. And I can't do it in the house because I have a cat who's gonna like fucking step on like wooden, like anything like wooden that actually comes off of the fucking box. But there's bacon in here. God damn it. I gotta go outside and break into the damn thing. I don't think it'll be that hard. I've broken into a box with a crowbar. Don't ask about it. Anyway, that's,
you're not just gonna pound that shit open, are you? Just
no, you fucking you
pry it open.
Yeah,
that's what I was
pry
thinking,
it open like a not asshole.
Break into the box. I'm like, are you gonna just smash that shit open?
I mean, I totally could just like fucking go outside and just do that and make a goddamn mess. But it would actually, if this box is put together really well, it wouldn't do shit. It would actually just literally bounce off the ground. But anyway, while I'm doing that, you can find me at Mr. Happy1227 at Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All those fun little places. This is the first video I'm putting out in 2019. January is a pretty shit month for YouTube, in case you didn't know. So I'm not going to be stressing putting out too much like super crazy content this month. I'm going to put out what's necessary kind of for a few thoughts videos, Kingdom Hearts 3 related stuff, anything patch related with Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy 11, which we should probably do since I've been playing it a little bit more lately. There was something else I was going to say too. I don't remember what it was, so you'll have to wait till I remember. But thanks. And let's hope that 2019 is a good year. I want it to be better than last at the very least. And I think everyone can say that about 2018.
Amen.
Hey, fucking men to that, brother. Anyway, that's going to be a wrap for us this week. And we'll see you next Friday for Stay of the Realm on patch 4.5. First impressions. Yeah. And we swear that unlike the preliminary patch notes, that's exactly what the show will be about. We're sure of it.
Talk about it.
We are 100% sure the next week's show will be about the topic we are saying it will be about, okay? So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. We're going to move on into a short post show, and we will see you next week. So enjoy patch 4.5 Tuesday morning, and we'll see you to talk about it next Friday. So, bye-bye.
See you next week.